God of today. Rocca di Papa, June 10th, 1976. Meeting with the Focolarini of the School of Loppiano. My night has no darkness.
I often feel a great sense of sadness because humankind seems so lost and without light. But then I think of how much you must suffer, Chiara. Can you say something about this? Look, you're truly right. I really feel like a few days ago when I felt a great sadness. I can't remember now what had happened because something happens every day, all these killings, all these things, the possible spread of communism in Italy, which would be terrible. I don't remember. Something really serious had happened. And the pain was like a weight inside of me. I didn't know where to turn because I felt it all depended on me. I felt I needed to give direction to the movement, a new direction, to begin something new. However, I was living the word of life that you know. My night has no darkness. With a great effort, I said, my night has no darkness. And I loved that suffering, held it tightly, consumed it in one, made it mine, and managed to go ahead and live. My action did not just have an impact on me, in that I no longer felt this pain. Certainly, this act of love had an effect on the world through the communion of saints. So, the only thing to do when you see all this is say, my night has no darkness. That is, embrace it right away and say, I want this, my suffering, the suffering of the world and the church are mine. I want that suffering. In that way, you are God, you are love. I've already said this to the Focolarini who came. And when we began the meeting, look, all of this continuously taking on Jesus and loving Him. In this way, when you take on Jesus forsaken and love Him like this all day long, God grows within you continuously. That explains what happens when you speak at a meeting or meet a person. Now I understand why some people say of certain people, it was enough just to see her to resolve my problems. She said just 2 words and everything was put right. I think it was precisely this, as we said about Jesus in the midst, that our being of one heart makes charity increase, and charity makes the reality of God among us increase. So in our soul, being one with Jesus forsaken, loving Him to the point of being Him, makes the reality of God grow, and makes our very being grow. We exist, but God is. In our being, there is the being, because the Trinity lives in our soul if we're in a state of grace. So, the fullness of God increases. Therefore, maybe someone sees you from behind, and they're struck, and you cannot explain what it was, but it happened. It happened. So, it's possible to think, I can think, it's the growth in agreement with Jesus forsaken that makes charity and the presence of God develop within us. So, we must go ahead always being God, love, because God is love. In heaven, Jesus is now love at the right hand of the Father. He is the triumphant Jesus. Obviously, He experienced the abandonment, and we too must pass through all the abandonments in our lives, so that when our night comes, it knows no darkness, and the sun shines immediately to be love, to be God. So, in this way, we serve humanity.